Okay.
One.
Today we are going to have our new lesson about basic economic questions a society is going to face or an economy is going to face, and how these questions are answered by different allocative mechanisms which are also called economic systems. Follow my point or not? So what are the basic economic questions? There can be three economic questions. One is called what to produce. What it is? What to produce. And second is called how to produce. And third one is called for whom to produce. Alright? Now the society has to decide to allocate resources in such a way that the maximum of unlimited human wants are satisfied by using the scarce resources which are also having alternate uses. Clear? And they are involving what? Opportunity cost. Now the question is, a society has to decide or economy has to decide what types of goods to be produced in the country. So this is basically, I say, this is a consumer question. What it is? A consumer question. Whatever consumer is willing to buy and he or she is able to buy, that has to be supplied by the producers. Whether the producer is private or government, so any society, what type of economic system it is following in order to overcome the basic economic problem of scarcity of resources, it needs to answer what to produce. This is the consumer side of the question. What consumer is willing and able to buy, that needs to be supplied. For example, if consumer wants to have more and more A-level educational institutions, then these things are shown in the form of increase in demand of education of A-levels or O-levels. Then the sellers or the suppliers of education will provide this education according to the consumer preferences or consumer demands. So it involves what? Opportunity cost. If a supplier has decided to provide education instead of health services, so another thing which is the next best, that was sacrificed for the sake of the decision to allocate resources. So it also involves opportunity cost in order to have efficient allocation of resources according to consumer demands. Now after deciding what item they have to produce, now the producer has to face another question. What's that? How to produce these goods which are demanded by the consumers in order to reduce their cost of production or per unit cost of production. If cost of production is minimized, definitely producer will be able to maximize the profit. Clear? So there can be different methods, either to use more labor in the production process or more capital in the production process. There can be different combinations of labor and capital, by which way cost of production for the producer will be minimized. So this is the second question, how to allocate resources in the production of those goods which are going to minimize the cost of production in terms of average cost, which will be enabling the producers to maximize their profit out of the economic activity. Clear? Now the question is for whom to produce. Where this output which is produced or the income which is earned or which is produced, how this income income or output is distributed, whether more rich people are going to get this output or more poor people are going to get the output, or there is egalitarian society where equal distribution of income is present or fair distribution of income is there. I say whenever any production process takes place, what is used? The four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and the last one is entrepreneur. Okay, these four factors of production are used to produce the goods and services. What are their rewards or incomes? Landowner will get rent, and labor is able to get wages, and capital owner is getting interest, and entrepreneur ultimately entitled for earning profit. I give you an example. For example, these chairs are produced. What is the final price of this chair? Maybe 3,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees for each chair. So do you think these 4,000 rupees are solely taken by the entrepreneur or the business owner? No. These 4,000 rupees are divided in the form of rent to the landowner, wages to the workers, interest to the capital owner, and the last one is profit. So who is getting more share of this 3 or 4,000 rupees? Do you think landowner is getting more share? Labor is getting more share? Capital owner? If this person is getting more, so income distribution is more diverted towards entrepreneur. In other countries where capital owner is supplying capital, he is getting more share of output, who is called the capitalist. Money is concentrating towards the capitalist in the capitalist economies. So in that way, when these incomes which are shared out of these production of chairs, how this income is divided among the factors of production, this is the question for whom to produce. Who will be able to get more share of the output produced? Either there is a fair distribution, unfair distribution of output or income. Clear? For example, those people who are producing iPhones, they are highly skilled people. Yesterday I was talking about physical capital and human capital. So in that way, which are the most technical products, if more of highly skilled people who know how to produce iPhones or any item which requires more human skills in the form of education and training, so in those products, the share of labor, the highly skilled people, that will increase. Clear or not? So for home to produce means how the output which is produced, how is it distributed in the factors of production, who will get the more share. Either there is equal share or fair distribution or unfair distribution of income or output produced in the economy or society. Now these are the questions in order to allocate resources in the economy to fulfill maximum of human wants which are unlimited in nature, which are unlimited in their nature, and the resources which are available, they are finite or limited. Now what do we mean by allocative mechanism? If I ask you allocative mechanism or economic system, what is the allocative mechanism? If I talk about economic system, can you define system? How can we define system? How can we define the system? Your cell phone is a system, your computer is a system. Here, classic school system, this is also said a system. System is that in which different parts integrate with each other and they work together to achieve their goals. Clear? So I say, in case of economic system, we have the economic agents. the economic agents. One is called consumer, another is called producer, and the third one is government. So these are the economic agents who are interacting with each other in order to achieve their subjective goals. What are their subjective goals? Consumer goal is to maximize the satisfaction by consuming the goods and services, and producer goal is to maximize profit, whereas the government goal is to maximize the welfare of the people living in a country or in a society. Clear? So when we talk about economic system, what is happening? These are the economic agents. They are interacting with each other. They are in order to answer the basic economic question. What was the basic economic question? What, how, and for whom to produce. It will presently explain to you what are these questions. So these are the economic agents. The economic system is that which is answering these three basic economic questions in order to have efficient allocation of resources. That's why we say these are the allocative mechanisms or economic systems. Following my points, which I wanted to elaborate. Now, how many are the economic system or allocative mechanism? There can be many systems. Previously, in the history, there was mercantilism. Mercantilism is what that was having a strong nation thought. They said, according to them, gold is the real wealth. So if a country is having more and more gold, that will have a strong nation. They allowed the import of gold, but they restricted its export. That every time a country should have more stronger nation if they are having more real wealth in the form of gold. Then different in the evolution process of economic systems, we had feudalism, where the landlords, they said, this is the agriculture sector which is producing income and output for the whole country. This is the only producing sector. So landlords, they were also using the resources in order to produce output. Nowadays, we are studying three main economic systems. What are those? One is called free market economy. Free market economy or economic system. It is also given a name price mechanism. Second is called planned economy. And third one is called mixed economy or mixed economic system. Here, when market forces without any government interference, they are answering the questions what for whom to produce. That is called free market economic system. Like these economic agents, consumers and producers, they are deciding how to allocate resources in the economy. So by the way of using the market tools. What are the market tools? Demand and supply. Consumer force is demand and producer force is supply. So if supply of the goods is more than the demand, definitely price of the product will go down because less is demanded than it is supplied. So in the next phase, less number of producers will be supplying that. And again, if consumer demand is rising and now consumers are willing to buy more, they are able to buy more, then more sellers will come into the market in order to supply that. So this is solely dependent on the market forces are demand and supply. Free does not mean that the goods are freely distributed. It means government intervention is not there. It is free from government interference. Only the consumers and producers, they are deciding what, how and for whom to produce. Market forces. This is a resource allocative mechanism. We will go into detail of everyone by the next day. But right now I am giving a brief introduction. When these questions are answered by these two, or in other words, by the private sector. This is a private sector. Private producers, they are supplying the goods for the consumers' welfare, consumers' satisfaction. Now what is planned? Now only the government is the deciding body what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. So when there is only government who is answering the basic economic questions, then it is planned economic system. And what is mixed? And this is called a strong public sector hold in the allocation of resources. Authoritarian society, where authority is going to rule. By hook and crook, government is deciding whether they are producing more defense, more of the weapons items or something like that, and they are producing less of other goods which can have more unequal distribution of income. So in that way, government is having authoritarian rule in order to allocate resources. Okay? Now the last one is the mixed economic system. What is mixed? Where all these three economic agents, this is the private sector, this is public sector, this is private and this is public sector. Now both private and public sectors, they are going to allocate resources efficiently in order to have more allocative efficiency in the society or in the economy. For example, majority of decisions are taken by the private producers, what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. And wherever private forces or the private producers, they are having allocative inefficiency in the case of public goods, merit goods, then government will play its role. Government is not having the role in every production and consumption. Rather, it is going to have a very legitimate role or economic role. Clear? So, government will interfere or intervene in the economic system when there is allocative inefficiency by the producer or by the consumer in case of demerit goods. Clear? Or merit goods. So, government will play its economic role as it is having legislative role or regulatory role. Now, government will play the economic role. It will increase the supply of public goods, merit goods, and it will restrict the supply of demerit goods by the private sector. And it will try to have more fair distribution of income in the society. Yeah. So this is the introductory lesson about how we will be proceeding in the details of these economic system and why they are going to be studied, because we need allocation of resources in such a way that maximum of unlimited human wants should be satisfied. Follow? Thank you.